I can't believe you people come here voluntarily.
That one. Yes. I'm redoing my wiring, finally, at long last, since I had to unplug a bunch of stuff, but it is a process. You'll also notice there's no rack of guitars back there. I have been moving and cleaning and trying to get sorted and organized post pulling everything apart for Zeldathon, so. More than anything else, what I need is someone to sit here and cheer me on. We should pick a day and you should come over and we should just shoot the breeze and do that. Other stuff to discuss too, yes, but... Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a plan, Alright, we should be out of ads. You ready to give it a shot? See if we remember how to do this? I do not. Alright, coming out in 5, 4, 3... Hello, and welcome to the Blue House Bull Session. We are glad to be here back with you after it seems like entirely too long. Joined once again, as always, by my BFF and co-host Uber Fuzzy, who hasn't seen me for the past month. That's not true. We've seen each other IRL, but we haven't seen each other through a screen. It's been too long.
It was Monday.
It was Monday.
And it was the Monday before that.
That's true. I've been doing a bad job at getting back into the swing of this. Zeldathon ate the entirety of my August one way or another, as it is prone to do. It was a fantastic time. Everyone else has done a recap. Should I do a recap? It was fun. All the directors did that thing where they resigned at the end of it. I'm sure you've seen by now on Twitter or heard directly from me or members of the team. Super MC Gamer, Lizardu, and Campy are stepping down as directors of Zeldathon, leaving Clinkett, who, I would still gladly face God and march backwards into hell under her leadership. So Zeldathon shall persevere, but we may see a couple familiar faces take a little bit of a break from it, regroup, decide what they actually want out of things. Take care of the. Get some rest, for crying out loud. Get some rest.
How many years has MC just been
14?
driving that
A
train?
million? Double digits. Absolutely double digits. I think 13 years. I think 13 years.
On top of the other events he does, on top of the other events he does for his day job.
Well, keep in mind that like part of all of that, part of all of that. How do I even phrase that? Yes, part of that. That's the phrase we use in English, right? Part of that. Part of that is cyclic back in on itself. You know that Zeldathon is why St. Jude Play Live exists, right?
Yeah.
So, this is MC willing into existence an entire field so that he could have his desired career, which I am really, really impressed by. And I will also be continuing to work with him on a lot of things, some of which I can't talk about right now, some of which you guys already know about. By the way, this weekend is Kaizo Coliseum. Make sure you're tuned in for that. I've got my hand in 3 or 4 different bits for it. So, yeah, I'll get you some links. It's going to be on Grand Pooh Bear's channel, so I'll just throw a shout out here. Make sure you're throwing a follow over there. Give a peek at it this weekend. See what I'm involved with. Not attending in person this time. Just helping out remotely, but helping out remotely nonetheless. Jackson Prody has a fantastic music segment planned along with Amaya Sings. I am really looking forward to that for all of the regular reasons, but there are additional reasons that I can't tell you why yet. But when you see it, you'll be like, oh, I see. I understand. Campy's got some cool stuff going on. Jiggy is doing a Blitz Wheel. I don't even know if we settled on a title for it. I think it is just Blitz Wheel. I think that's what we're sticking with.
Blitz of what?
Games.
Oh. Not any one particular thing?
See, I can't really say too much more about it yet. Okay, fine.
Ooh.
All right, I'll leak it. Yeah, no. He wants a handful of people that he likes on couch, and everyone who joins his couch gets to contribute a game. I am also contributing a game, so it's a wheel of couch. Everyone gets to throw their game on there. We have an idea for the mechanic that I might play around with some tonight and tomorrow as well. Tomorrow we have a meeting. A meeting. You don't schedule a meeting with Jiggy. He just calls you.
Sometimes live on the air.
Tomorrow he's supposed to call me so we can run through the last of things to set that up and everything, but I am very excited to see how it works out. I also have a secret planned that I will not be telling him. Jiggy, if you're here in the audience, say something.
He's not.
Oh, good. I'm putting Color a Dinosaur on the wheel. I'm just sneaking that one in there secretly. I'm not telling anybody except you here in the audience in our inner circle. So when that comes up on the wheel and everyone just kind of stares blankly at each other for a minute, that was my doing. That was my doing. We had a team leads meeting for Zeldathon this week that went really well. Clinky was not there because she is on vacation. The other director emerituses were not there. So it was just the team leads having a team lead meeting. But we made a very strong approach to what we're going to propose the new leadership structure looks like. What we know we are comfortable with. And I'm excited to see it go forward with a more dedicated structure and better delegation of things and not go ask MC. I love the guy to death. He needs a break. He needs a break. He really does.
That seems hopeful.
It is. I'm not going to let Twitch's #1 redhead bully me into last Zeldathon ever. Oh no. No.
Although you gotta admit, like,
In the state that the argument could convincingly be made. The argument could convincingly call a
yes,
bondulance. James Nond is having a strong. One thing that was stated pretty clearly and directly is that we do want return of more side quests if we're sticking with one main event a year.
yeah.
I'm really hopeful we have something around Halloween, but at the same time, I'm dreading having something around Halloween. But that is entirely because I feel compelled to produce something new and funny. And I have so much stuff to do that I don't know how much new and funny I could come up with.
Well, we've been talking a lot about the internal affairs,
Yeah.
and maybe this also gives more opportunity for other people to like flex in different areas that they didn't before. Maybe somebody wants to like try a hand at producing something, and
Yeah.
a off-season side quest is a shot at that because it's not like you mess up your one big event and it's the big St. Jude or whatever charity, and that goes badly. But if it's like a side quest,
Yeah.
you
The
could
stakes are lower. That really
have
is what it
some
boils down to.
you can try at it as the main, but you have a veteran there as a backup that, Jesus take the wheel. If something goes south real quick, you have somebody to step in and like, take over. Driver's ed car.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of opportunities for stuff like that, and I'd like to see that come to fruition.
Let everybody know like, hey, now is the time in the great shakeup. If you want to try your hand at a lateral move to a different department, maybe one of the developers, wants to be more, wants to do like more on screen content. What do they call it? Not content.
Entertainment.
Yeah, you know.
Couches. You are here. You didn't hear the thing, did you? The secret thing? You didn't hear the secret thing, I hope. Oh goodness. He is here. You troublemaking punk. Did you make it there safely? Are you like watching from up in the air still? Jiggy is en route to Kaizo Coliseum. I don't know if he's like actually at the location or not yet, but I know he had a flight at like 3 this morning, 5 this morning. He
Eh,
had the red eye this morning. I remember that for sure.
I don't mind red eye flights.
Oh yeah, you had that big old stupid layover thing, huh? Well, I hope we can keep you entertained while you're there. We were shilling for Kaizo. I shouted out Pooh. Talked a little bit about some of the things I know are going to be going on. You know, I'm excited. I'm really excited. Okay, Jackson's thing. I'll spoil it for you. He's doing kind of a game show, and it's got a web interface for managing it, for actually tracking it and showing scores and all of that. That he wrote. Let me just get tennis elbow patting myself on the back for teaching the guy to program.
Eh, Did he end up doing anything with that coin dropping thing, or was that just messing around?
We're still kind of playing with what we want to do with it. When he was streaming Monday, he wasn't showing that off, but one of his goals is to turn it into a chat overlay. Tell me if that sounds familiar. To keep chat engaged and motivated. Not that he has problems with that. Um, but it's really just been a whole lot of mess around stuff. Yeah, yeah. Him and Amaya have a whole bit worked out, and it is fantastic. I have seen the innards of it, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Nice. So have you done anything else other than in between preparing for Zeldathon and then trying to unpack from Zeldathon? Have you been up to anything else?
Let me tell you what I've been up to. At least one of the things I've been up to. I've
Let
been
me just lob that question over.
I've been watching people play Let's Cafe, and it is still a surreal experience. Not just people I know, but like you can follow a specific game or category on Twitch and
Mhm.
see when people are playing. Not just people I know and have been like, hey, you ought to play my game on stream sometime. Strangers, people I have had no contact with, are playing the game, and seeing them check it out like completely fresh eyes is amazing and such an unreal experience. It is rapidly becoming one of my top categories that I watch, just because I want to see new people's experience with it. Um, and we have been finalizing. I say that in giant air quotes because there are a lot of things we need to do still. The Twitch chat integration, the crowd control integration is ready to go. Saturn says they're ready to flip the switch whenever I say so. Twitch chat integration, we've had Trill test it, we've had Cast test it. It's looking pretty solid, and we're just about ready to have the big release, and this will be our market push where not only do you have the game, but if you're a streamer, hey, here's a whole bunch of fun new features for you. Here's a bunch of things that we fixed from people checking out early access. Here's a handful of new content just because we like adding new recipes and characters. So we very shortly, I have no idea how long that is, but very shortly, should have the actual full formal release out. Definitely before November when the Steam Cooking Fest happens, because
Mhm.
I ain't trying to say wait to buy the game. Buy it now. Buy it twice. Buy it for your friends. Give me all your money directly. But if you want to save a little bit, there is a cooking fest coming up in November that we are enrolled for, and we probably need to have an internal meeting to discuss what we want to do for the winter sale, since that's coming eventually.
So here's a little inside baseball. When you become a Steam developer, you get access to this big old dashboard calendar. Well, you get access to a lot of interesting dashboards and stuff on the non-consumer side. One of them, front and center, is the big calendar of events. They're not secret and unknown. That's why people know about they know when the Steam sales are, because there is a calendar that is a year out of every sale and winter sale and stuff, and every it's the space one is going on right now. Those are all planned out on this big calendar feed, and you can like, hey, your game is eligible for this. You want to add it to that? And yes, no problem. But we know when the Steam sales are. I'm gonna take a quick rant. The fall sale and the winter sale are a week apart. The fall sale happens literally the first half of December. Then there's a week off, and then the winter sale is like the week after Christmas. When
Yep.
everybody's got Christmas money and stuff. But there is a like no, like I hate that the fall sale should be early November, maybe October, when all the spooky season games are on sale and hip to jive and stuff like that. It's like no, don't have two seasonal sales back to back.
Yeah, it's just a reminder of the fleeting nature of time and our own mortality. Someday the sweet release of the grave will come for us all. Anyway, what was I saying? Crowd control support. Crowd control support is in the bag. Saturn says, hit the switch. We're ready to launch with crowd control. Jiggy, if you're still here and listening, when you play on crowd control, may I suggest you raise the price of summoning a sloth. You can do whatever you want with all the others, but trust me on that one.
We really should adjust some of those prices before we go live with that.
I did. I did.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
if you saw the latest push on that, but I did adjust the prices on a bunch of those. Um,
Okay.
I'm also going to be doing another test stream of that just to show it off and make a couple coins and all of that. But it's fun. It gives you the option to make it your game. If you want it cozy and relaxed, don't turn any of it on. Just go through and play. If you want to bring in your community, turn on Twitch chat. Do some role play. It's fun. If you want
I
chaos,
I did go back and see Cass's apron. I watched some
yeah,
of that VOD. That was
yeah.
hilarious.
I am so thankful for her being so into this and seeing her like come back to it. Not like I'm checking out this game because a friend said I should, but coming back to it because she genuinely enjoys it is such a rewarding thing to see. Um, in the Hergel Discord, which let me see if the bot's just dead altogether or what. In the Hergel Discord, we have had a lot of community involvement too. You know, new players, new friends, new fans. Um, Getting into it, making their suggestions, talking about their discoveries. I'm ready to tell them go ahead and start a wiki. Not on fandom, but start a wiki. Will
I would
will
say
help. We may not fill it out, but
actually, as a person who literally tended to wikis professionally for years,
yeah.
like I literally got my job in that entire industry by as an unpaid just random person editing wikis, and then did it so much they hired me twice as a part-time intern and then a full-time like caretaker. No, what they need is not wikis. What they need is to go fill out the community section, the guides and stuff on Steam, because that's where people playing a Steam game, they're gonna look first, especially on the Steam Deck, because you can bring up that Steam overlay and get to that from in the game.
Oh, that's true.
Whereas
That's
going out
true.
to a browser and all this other stuff is a pain. Where if it's push button, get Steam overlay, read guides, read walkthroughs, read whatever discussions, build that community there because it's there and free and set up, and all the spam protection's already there. Wikis are gigantic spam maggots.
Yeah.
Literally, what I did as a job is I cleaned up spam and lots of goatsy.
Yeah.
That's literally what I did for about a year and a half. Is I was on the janitor team, and we went around on a global scale and cleaned up wikis that got vandalism.
Grr. Grr at vandals, grr at people who want to make it difficult to share information with other people, just grr in general.
Yeah.
By the way, Fossey, I need to talk to you about building some tools that may be related to Let's Cafe.
Oh.
Well, we need to polish up the dialogue thing, and I want to talk to you about how some things might work from a high level standpoint, but we'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly private. And then the one that I'm going to pretend is private to raise interest. I want to talk to you about some additional things I'd like to be able to do with the recipe editor. Do you
Okay.
think we could make a batch export tool that generates images of all the recipes?
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to work with our new partner Tantrum Collectibles on putting together the cookbook we were threatening, the combination cookbook and art book,
Oh.
that may also be a strategy guide. Can we make a combination cookbook, art book, and strategy guide? Do those things go together?
I would. I would hesitate doing that, but what I would do is, since the recipes and the cookbook are going to be inspired by what they are in game, I would add, grid.
Yeah.
Here's what it is in game, and here's how it actually turn.
Right, we don't need to give all the recipes away, of course. There's some discovery still necessary, but a lot of the ones that are attributed or a lot of the ones that we've actually experienced in real life, we write a little blurb about it and we throw the grid recipe and then we throw if you want to make this for yourself in real life and try it, here. This is what's actually on it.
I think when I think one thing we could do is kind of go into why not okay, not to add one of those fluff pieces to the start of a recipe that
No,
doesn't
this is
actually is not the recipe.
you want
But
this.
what
Yeah,
well no, that's the content. That's in a cookbook you want that. You want to read, we could explain why that recipe was in the game or why it shaped the way it is or what inspired us even adding it in.
talk about Susie's dogs and drafts and why the campfire dog is in the game and the fact that I ordered it every time we were
Oh,
there.
yeah, I think definitely a section of the cookbook should definitely cover the named recipes.
Yeah, yeah.
What I forget what our internal term for the ones
The ones that
by
have a
people.
byline, yeah, attributed
Yeah,
recipes.
attribute. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. And we have a couple calls out for fan art too. For people that are interested in contributing something to that. I will probably talk a little bit more about that as we start moving into a little bit more formal organization of stuff like that. Um, but yeah, since I kind of glossed over it, we did partner with Tantrum Collectibles as the official merchandise distributor for Hergel Studios. Big ups to them. Big thanks to Tantrum. Big thanks to Doodle. Big thanks to Monica. Everybody over there, fantastic people, fun to talk to. We
Mm-hmm.
may also have something going on for them in return too, but I'm not going to say nothing about that yet.
Well, it's not really in return, but
That's true. They are completely separate things, but there is a thing that flows from Tantrum to Hergel, and then there is a thing that will flow from Hergel to Tantrum. So
yes,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
shh,
I'm
keep your
not
mouth
saying
shut.
anything else.
Don't pull a jiggy.
Leaky 11, my good man. Did you see his stream recently playing Binding of Isaac crowd control?
I did.
I am so like back into that now. I love Binding of Isaac. I've got thousands of hours in the game since it came out, and I think I want to try that one crowd control because I don't. I think I could still beat the game. I have a small enough audience that nobody's really going to make it that bad on me, and if they do, I get paid. Well, you know.
A game like a not just a roguelike, but a what is inherently it is a randomizer like at
Yeah,
its core.
yeah,
You know, a game like that is very apt to take on crowd control chaos because the game basically is its own source of chaos.
yeah,
Every run's going to be like, well, I guess I got the thing, or every time I push left, I shoot lasers, and every time I push right, I explode. You know, so what's more shuffling power ups against my choice?
yeah.
Like it.
How much worse is it going to make it when there's already things that make it so much worse? So much
Yeah.
worse. But yeah, I think I'm definitely going to do that. You are always my voice of sanity, so I can already hear your eyes preemptively rolling. I did sign up for the Crowd Control Pro program, which is their subscription-based support thing. It gives you a lot of extra features and abilities, even if you're not partnered with them yet. Um,
It, I looked at that. I'm like, if you knew people that regularly did crowd control, like it was like,
yeah,
even just a weekly shtick, or you knew a couple different people that did it. It's actually like a pretty good deal if
yeah.
you
It
like.
is not bad at all. I enjoy it. Above and beyond which, I want to support my friends over at Crowd Control because goodness knows I lean on them a lot.
Well, now that we see how some of that works, you know,
We're baking
and
it
how
into Digit Dungeons, hands down.
I was about to say, like we teased about that, like you know,
Yeah, I absolutely want that, and I would love to partner with them on whatever good stuff we have going forward too. Um, but that's definitely the one I already know we want to do.
And especially now that because we're writing the games, you know, and we have the control in there, and we are pretty competent programmers.
Yeah, I would say so.
We're at least competent. We know to we can easily add that stuff in. A lot of the stuff that's on the crowd control menu is like, I won't say emulated, but like a lot of it is in a different engine of some variety,
Yeah,
you know? And so, and it was never meant to have that sort of input, hooked in. So like things have to be modded and tweaked and, woven in, and like you're basically hacking into it. Whereas there's not a whole lot of games on there where it's like, oh, this was intentionally added like into the game. It
right.
has proper hooks in, so you can have a slightly better experience than them shoehorning it in. Sometimes it doesn't work, or this thing, watching some of the crowd control stuff at Zeldathon. But they did the one before, I think it was like before and after Good Morning. It was
Yeah,
like it was like two different games. The first one like went badly because like the emulator was like kind of funky on its own, and like events were getting lost. And the second one went better because apparently it was in a different emulator, and the mod support in that Zelda game was like slightly better in general. So it's like it really depends. Whereas since we're writing the games, A, we can design it into it. B, we can just, even for like right now, if we wanted to add crowd control support to Mudoku's digits, we could very easily add it directly into that game right now,
yeah.
even after it being done, because we can.
That's something that I want to talk to you and the rest of the Hurgle team about. And depending on what we decide, also talk to Saturn and Jakku and the crowd control team, is we have built kind of a style of making libraries for stuff, not formal libraries, but
Mm-hmm.
breaking things apart into reusable components.
Internal patterns.
I want to pitch to you guys that we make an NPM package for crowd control. If you're building a JavaScript
Abstract
frame,
some of the
yeah,
weird stuff. Yeah.
we break it out. You add this library, and here is how you add your effects. Here is how you call the effects. You provide all the callbacks and everything. Um, but to lower the barrier of entry to doing this stuff and handle specifically the connection stuff, because that was the part where I went back and forth a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Getting the WebSockets and
yeah,
the callbacks and the event handler. Yeah, getting all that. Yeah, if it's, include this package, put your hook here, hand it to this, and you're done. You want Twerple for crowd control is what you want.
you still need to write your CS file because you still need to write the server side of things. But
Yeah.
that's more data than anything that actually executes. And you still
Mm-hmm.
need to export your JSON from that, but that's data. It's not anything that executes. Everything that happens in the game, we bundle up alongside a set of instructions. Hey, you want to add crowd control to your JavaScript game?
Yeah. It wouldn't be a bad idea, especially like even just kind of doing it for ourselves. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, that's how a lot of packages. I mean, that's how like Bootstrap started. It was it was Twitter Bootstrap because that's what it was. It was their internal style guide component library.
yeah.
What was it? It was something before they broke it out.
I can't remember the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there was a different name, but that's why all the sites looked like Twitter for a while, is because everybody was using the early versions of Bootstrap were literally just the building blocks of Twitter.
Yeah,
So, you can quickly spot a unmodified Bootstrap based website today,
very quickly. Very quickly.
but that's okay because it was a pretty good style and it still is. And you know what? It works. And if you want to delve deeper, you can. But if you need, look, if I want to like framework something out real quick and put a button that doesn't look like a default button, I'm gonna grab that.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of like I'm gonna mock this up using Legos. I'm not gonna like go CAD for 1,700 hours and then CNC some blocks out. The framework out of metals. Like no, I'm gonna literally sometimes with Legos or like with T-bar extruded A-frame stuff. You're going to build it with something else.
The thing is, okay, here, mini rant time. Material, Google's one.
Uh-huh.
Material is prettier. Material has a much higher barrier of entry. It's not complex to use, but it's not include Bootstrap.
No, no, no. Material was meant to be a design language,
Hmm.
not a framework to use. It was a guiding principle of how all the things at Google should look. However you implemented it, the end result has to look like this.
Yeah.
Bootstrap was the implementation of their internal style guide.
Hmm.
Material is a pain to use because it was never meant to be you use it. It was you still had to write the glue code.
Yeah.
Bootstrap is that glue code from some opinionated designers. I want things to look like this, and programmers say, I don't care how that happens. I will write code to do that.
Yeah.
It, yeah.
I would probably use material for more things, but I do not know how. And that's my own failing. Yes, I know, but I fall back on Bootstrap because it is very easy to use, and it looks,
Bootstrap is a library is a
yeah.
framework to use. I I can see the design appeal of material design. I I liked the earlier versions of material. The version, the newest one, I actively do not like. I can see where they're going and how they wanted it to be because you have to pick it. Somebody's like, look, all of our apps, all of our sites look different. We need to like get on one train together. Even if it's not the best one, we'll all be on the same train.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, eh,
I
it's
get
okay.
I get it. I get it. And you know me, I like to destroy Bootstrap's nice, clean, minimalist design by making everything purple and shiny every anyway, so
We need to go back and fix that at some point. There's a different way to do what you wanted it to do, so it flows down better, and you can still change stuff.
yeah. The other thing we need to do unrelated to that is some separation of concerns that you brought up for Let's Cafe. And
Mm-hmm.
this actually factors into some of those. Um,
Yeah,
but we'll
but
yeah.
it's not officially out. This is why we launched in early access. Is
Hmm.
the game was 95% done, 90%, but it's always the old joke of the last 90% of the work happens in the last 10% of the project.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
until we got to this point and put it in front of other people, we found all this stuff. Half the project was getting it to early access, and then the other half was frantically trying to fix all the new bugs that all the new people found in the few short weeks of early access. If you ever see a game come out in early access and it sits there for a while, there's a good reason. They're working on stuff. And sometimes you need other people out in the world playing it and testing it in different ways.
It
Trying
really
it
does.
on
Yeah.
trying it on hardware you didn't expect. That shapes bug. There's a puzzle game. Puzzle sort of idle factory gener There's a game called Shapes with a Z. Put shapes together, combine them, do stuff, get other shapes. It's sort of an automation factory idle type thing. The new version of it called Shapes 2 came out. It's 3D, it's in space, it's beautiful, it's got a great soundtrack, it's very addicting, it's like 10 out of 10 dopamine hits for my brain. I am utterly addicted to it. I'm not going to lie, it's actually in the background right now where I'm just waiting to generate another 17,000 triple stacked green petals. You can save your machines and stuff as a blueprint. So you can remake them or reuse them later in between saves. It saves them as files on your disk. Perfectly fine. And then you can add subfolders. Somebody went to go make a folder and the name was weird. Like I made a folder for route. I called it router because I have a bunch of like, hey, you put stuff here and it'll split it this way. So I saved a couple of those.
Yeah.
Except the name was corrupted. It just went underneath it. And I'm like, that's odd. I'm like, it's splitting it right at the R. Oh God, I wonder if I make a folder that's called any word that starts with N. It moved it down a line. It was picking up the /R and /N for /carriage return and /new line. Because apparently, so anywhere in the folder structure /R/N, apparently /T also does it for tabs. There's magic control characters. When you see a new line, again like a Word document, you press enter and it goes to a new line. That's a new line. Carriage return doesn't go down. New line moves down. Carriage return moves left. In old Word editors, those were not the same thing. You could go down and keep typing in the middle of a line, which is why you see /R/N for carriage return new line. So any folder with /N, T, R, S, and there's one for a vertical tab.
Oh, yes. I don't remember, but yes.
But I figured this out. I went to go check the bug. There was one in there. I added some information to it. It turns out it's because I was right. They developed it on a Mac. On a Mac, the character that's in between your folder names is the other slash. On Windows, it's the / that goes from left to right and not right to left. So their folders don't have /N, they have /N, which isn't a magic new line character.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to get a Mac. I need to buy so much hardware. Like, this just kicks off in my head all the things that I actually do need to buy at some point. I want a Mac. I will figure out what kind I need because it's not going to be like a daily driver machine, but I do need one.
Okay. If it doesn't need to be portable, the newer Mac Minis, the little bricks, are like really amazing machines for some stupid reason. Especially now with the new M3 4 Mega Ultra bonded super chip stuff.
Yeah.
It's better than like a desktop, like a pretty high-end desktop machine for something that's you could conceivably fit in your pocket entirely.
Yeah.
Something small enough you could Velcro to a wall.
That is the direction I think I'm going to go. Not the Velcroing it to the wall, but I do think Mac Mini is what I'm going to end up with.
Yeah.
And God help me, I need a Steam Deck. Let me rephrase that. I want a Steam Deck.
Now that we're doing game development on Steam, it might not be a bad idea, if nothing else, so we can... I know...
Matt.
Who has one?
Matt has one.
Matt has one, but he also, may need to let the child play with it, so he can't, like, go put it in debug mode, where it saves, like, all full trace logs and stuff for you. You are not likely to play a ton of games on it. You can, if you corrupt it and have to wipe it, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
You can do development on it and occasionally play games. you may actually play some games if you had a Steam Deck.
That is very true. That is very true. Very
You
Pink
are
Penguin
you're the
has
type,
one as well.
you are the very type of person that should have a Steam Deck and not a Switch, or at least a Switch Lite.
Yeah.
The Switch Lite is exactly what the Steam Deck did better.
I kind of debate occasionally whether or not I want to get an actual Switch, but
No, wait. At this point, wait.
yeah.
Um, the new ones are coming out next year. Everybody and their brother is going to be selling off their Switch ones. You'll be able to get even like the OLED, the very very newer one that
Yeah.
doesn't have much burden in life on it. You'll be able to pick one of those up very cheap. If not, potentially just get a Switch 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be better in a lot of ways. A lot of rumors are saying this. Like
Well,
a lot, a lot.
just hypothetically saying, now that we're an official organization that has some games released,
Uh huh. Uh
yeah,
huh.
yeah. I'll keep my fingers crossed. Maybe someday.
One thing I hope they do with the Switch 2, super. First of all, I hope to God they call it the Super Switch. Like just go back to your roots. Call it the Super Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call it Switch 2. Don't call it New Switch. Dear God, don't call anything. Nothing should ever be named new in the actual full title. Oh God. Oh God. What's the dumb new 3DS 2 Max Pro? What's the dumb name for that? Whatever that is.
I'm just new Super Mario Brothers. Grr, grr, grumble, grumble.
Right. But call it the Super Switch. They have like that would be so. Oh God, our generation, literally us, would buy that up just for the. Especially if they came out with a Super Nintendo colorway like limited edition one,
Yeah.
the blue and the purple and the gray. Oh my God, I would buy one in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When they did the weird Game Boy Advance that was the rectangle one, and they had the one that looked like a Famicom controller.
Yeah. Oh,
100%. You could absolutely hoover money right out of my pocket like that in a heartbeat.
I I hope they do the opposite of what they did with the Switch Lite, which made it mobile only and you could not dock it. I hope they do the opposite. I want a dock only version.
Yeah.
No put a screen on it, but like put an actual like cheap LCD panel on it and not the OLED.
Yeah.
Like keep the LCD panels in case I have to do something to it. Like the dock broke and I had to use it, but like I don't want to put an OLED screen on it to leave it in the dock 99% of the time.
Right. Right. And that cuts cost too.
Yeah.
100% that cuts cost. I know displays are getting unbearably cheap, but they still have a cost.
Well, especially if you want a nice good high the Switch OLED is more expensive entirely because of that OLED screen because guess what? Custom size OLEDs were expensive.
Yep.
I don't need that on a docked system.
I don't know, man. We're just gonna make our own console.
No.
All it'll play is our games.
Okay, you joke, but you know those cheap like plug-in to TV 17 million thousand
Yep.
ROM emulator things? Those come from somewhere.
We have enough Sudoku variants that we could make a plug into your TV play messed up Sudoku games. Yes, we do. Yes, we could. That is theoretically possible. We could make our own Tiger handhelds. Design games around LCD screens. Yep, bringing it back. Like Karnov and Double Dragon. What other terrible games did they have?
All of them.
All of them. If it was a branded property, someone made a handheld game out of it, and that someone was Tiger Electronics. Oh man, oh man. Well, we're about at the halfway point. I know we started a few minutes late, but I figure we'll take a break here for some hydration, dehydration, self care. What say we take about 5? We'll run some ads real quick to keep us supported, and we will be back with you very shortly here.
September. Don't forget to sub.
Don't forget to subscribe. Take advantage of September. Support us in our mission, etc., etc. We will see you presently. Welcome back to the Blue House Bull Session. We are back with you. I hope you had a chance to get up, stretch your legs, move around, do all of that. Hydrate, dehydrate, rehydrate, all of those. Exchange your various fluid tanks. Pay your bills. I don't know. What things do adults do? Eat human food? That's the thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh oh.
The story I was telling you.
Yeah.
So, holiday weekend, my kid was over, and I had a bunch of stuff to do down here, and she didn't want to just sit up there and she's 6. She likes watching TV. She likes watching dumb YouTube kids on TV. But she gets bored and lonely when I have to come down here to check on stuff because Let's Cafe stuff was happening, so I was on the computer a little bit. So she wanted to come down, and you can see over there I have a hammock. I've had it for 10 years?
At
Long
least.
time. A couple months ago, a while ago, sometime in the past, some time ago, there was a real bad storm, power went out, flood, blah, 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 blah. I had to quickly get back in that corner where the sump is, so I had to unhook the hammock to get back there, and I didn't know where to put the hammock that wasn't on the ground, so I took one of the many black not sterilite tubs, and I set it underneath, and I just sort of dropped the hammock into the box. I had forgot there was stuff in that box from one of my great resorting of electronics and stuff, but my hammock has been out of commission for months and months. And she's like, "Oh, the hammock is, I want to sit in the hammock and sit down here with you." So I hooked the hammock, pulled the box out and stuff, and I'm looking like, what stuff is in here? Like, oh, this was the stuff that wasn't wires. This was leftovers from one of the great sorting projects.
Yeah.
One of the things in there was this weird base with 2 metal things and a USB plug. It is the charging base station. I had bought one of those ammo pay foot grinder wheel things, the diamond wheel things, but it's waterproof, so you could use it in the shower. So it contact charges, doesn't plug in. It's got a special little dock. I had lost the dock, so I couldn't use the thing. I had found, I'm like, no, I'm not going to throw this away because I'm going to find the dock. So for like a year and a half, I've had this not uncharged foot grinder wheel thing. I found the dock.
Nice.
Like, oh, it's USB. I'll go plug it in. I've got one of those long, 16 port long power strips, like a power bar. There's all this technology right over the side, like my monitors and the printers and stuff, and none of it's on at the same time ever. Like, that's the thing. It's like, oh, too many things plugged into one power strip. But they're all off. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be printing on both printers at the same time, and the printers go off to sleep very quickly.
Yeah.
But there's a USB power dock over there with 2 plugs in it. Just 2 black unlabeled cords that go off into nothing. So I reached around like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and I unplugged one. Charged the thing. Works great. Perfectly fine. Apparently the thing that I unplugged it's plugged in now, was this cord, which is the cord I use to charge my headphones.
Ah.
You can see on the camera it glows blue when it's plugged in. The reason I use this one, magnet, is it's a right angle plug. The headphone stand that I use, when the headphones are sitting on it, there's only this much space, so a right angle cord fits perfectly in there. I did a bunch of streaming yesterday. My headphones got low. I plugged them in. They were fine because they use more power when they're on Bluetooth. When they're plugged into a 3.5 millimeter, they don't use that much power.
Right.
And they're often passive, but you can charge them and still have sound. You can't charge them with the Bluetooth on because continuous draw on battery. Blah,
Magic,
blah.
Yeah.
But the right angle plug, when it's on my head, sucks because it's constantly want to pull down. So I do have another one that's a straight one, but it's a lot shorter. But the point of this was because of all of that, I found the charging dock for my foot thing, and I unplugged the one very important thing, and I didn't notice when I plugged the headphones in, it
There wasn't.
wasn't
Yeah.
glowing. So when I poked you like, hey, it's Wednesday, we're gonna do the show, and I put on my headphones and it said, I Bluetooth connected to my computer and stuff. They're like, battery's at 20%. Please charge. I'm like, no, you've been sitting. I went to bed properly last night.
Yeah.
Like I got off stream and I actually went to bed, and I know I plugged them in. No, I know I plugged them in, but I was so half asleep I did not notice there was no light.
Yeah,
So they
that's
were not
rough.
charging, which is why I've been fighting with two cords the whole show. They're actually, I probably could actually like not have them plugged in right now.
Yeah, but erring on the side of caution and all that, I
I don't know.
understand it.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna leave them plugged in, but
Yeah.
because Bluetooth works for all the things people hate about Windows 11, and I'll give it that there's some things. Guess what? Get with the times, people. Look, I didn't like it when the fancy menu changed between Windows 95 and 98, and between 98 and ME, and ME and XP, and XP and look, I've been through
Yeah.
all the window. I've been through. I used Windows 3, not 3.11. I used Windows 3.
Yup. Yup.
Okay, I have been through Microsoft's whims of fancy and whimsy and wanting to change stuff. I don't hate Windows 11.
Yeah.
Some things are annoying, but guess what? That's what it is now.
Yeah.
You can't keep using the old one forever, even though I only changed to Windows 11 earlier this year.
I don't know. I jumped on Windows 11. I was excited to see what it had to offer. I got used to it quickly, but that's because I opted into it.
I also had very specific hardware requirements
Yeah.
that I wanted to hold on to my old hardware as long as I could, and my old hardware could not go to Windows 11. If they hadn't, it was some BIOS thing.
The
I couldn't
UEFI stuff
enable.
or whatever.
Yeah, because I had it. I had a TPM chip. I had an optional TPM module. That's how weird and nerdy I am. It's not built into my CPU. I have a little USB TPM module, and that was it was some EFI boot thing because some other my old computer could not have 11 on it. If it could, I would have upgraded right away.
Yeah.
Anyway, the built-in native Bluetooth support is great.
It is.
It
It is.
it was janky in 10, but it worked. The hardware. You had to have the hardware, but also you had to have like weird specific drivers or packages or a thing or something running or like to set the right profile modes. No, I plugged in my little USB micro dongle Bluetooth thing. I shoved it in the computer, and Windows is like, "Oh hey, Bluetooth, cool. Do you want to sync your stuff now or later?"
It just worked.
It's because it's got all the profiles on it. They
Yeah.
finally just shipped them with Windows and not like you had to have them installed. Same with my monitors. I used to have this weird driver installed magic zip file that had like these INF files that had like color things for it, and they're like, hey, cool, we know exactly what your monitor is. Do you want to load the color accurate one, or do you want just the default color package? And I'm like, you already know what those are. What?
Yeah. Ain't it neat? Technology's turning wonderful ways. Took them long enough and all, but yes, they are.
Also, just stuff like multiple monitor support. I technically don't need Ultramon anymore. That's why they stopped developing it. Is when the early RC candidates for 11 came out and they started building it in. They're like, we don't need to do this anymore. It's going to be built in.
This is
There's
done
like
for us, yeah.
there's one wallpaper support thing that is still janky in Windows because it keeps resetting. But that's only because Windows does it badly. But I have a feeling they'll fix it eventually. But I don't technically need Ultramon anymore. I've gotten my $20 out of it over the last
20 years.
Almost 30.
Almost 30, yeah.
Almost 30. I bought it right before I bought it in 90. I bought it for 98 or XP. Either way, at least 20 years out of it.
Yeah. A comfortable usage. I agree. I absolutely agree. So, I never actually asked you this. What the hell did you do for all of August? When I was not out of town, I was buried under a pile. What did you do?
Wait for you to come back.
I love you so much, brother.
Is
much.
Is that what Patrick said? It's been a while
Yeah.
since I saw them.
Yeah.
What do you do all day? Wait for you to come home. No. So Zeldathon was a week, except it started one weekend and ended another weekend, and you had to leave a few days before, and you came back a few days after.
Yeah.
So it ate 3 shows
Yeah.
because you had travel plans changed, and you ended up leaving on Wednesday. You were supposed to leave. Either if you would have left Tuesday, you could have did the show from the hotel room on Wednesday, which was the plan, except your travel plans changed. So you were on the road, and we didn't want to try to do a call-in show. We debated that. And then you were supposed to have some time off on Wednesday to go do the show from the hallway, or from, just a brief, we were going to do like a random 30-minute show from Zeldathon, like the back rooms. And then some people got sick or something, and you had to change shifts, and you're like, I can't do that. I am now busy Wednesday afternoon.
I think I ended up sleeping because originally I had that time blocked off, and I didn't have shifts before and after.
Yeah. But you weren't available for that. And then, because of people getting sick at the end of Zeldathon, breakdown took longer, so you left you were traveling on Wednesday and not on Tuesday, which you were going to be back, and we were going to have the day after show to recap all the Zeldathon.
Yeah.
And then last week was something else?
I think last week I was still unpacking.
We had the meeting with Tantrum and stuff last
week. Yeah. That was that.
And we tried to move that, except that was the only good time for them, and it's like, well, I guess we just skipped the show. We were going to have... And then I ended up calling in. I called in to your Metroid show on Tuesday or Thursday or something to make up for it. But yes, your 1 week event took 3 weeks and also ate another week. So we took a month off.
I'm still technically not unpacked. You can tell I'm on my headset microphone because I have not hooked my actual microphone back up. That's also, in addition, the reason that I haven't done music streams in a little bit is I took all my hardware apart because I took half of it with me to the show, whatever I could fit in the car, and I haven't hooked it all back up yet. But when I have it all unhooked is the optimal time to go in and hook it back up properly and route cables in a sane and rational way.
I still want to build you a multi-tiered platform thing. 3 tiers with enough space between for the hardware, but it'll open up like a tackle box. So here, it'll open up.
Yeah.
Not all part of the way, but this way you could leave all the stuff routed together, and when it's not being used, it takes up vertical space, but nothing can really sit on top of it or get, cats won't walk across and turn knobs and stuff. But when you need to get to it, you can open it up and have better access to all but put your mixer and your sound effect, all that in one thing. So, but leave them routed together with short cables. And all you really got to do is have one master, one power in and one power out, and one audio, at the base. But you could pick up that entire mixer, amp and mixer and sound effect and all that as one unit, and you just open it like that. Like have I don't know, somehow like legs in the back so it doesn't tip over. But yeah,
We should definitely sit down and sketch something like that out because I could really use something like that for sure.
when you did that show from when you did that live set at the craft show,
Yeah, yeah,
watching you set up all that equipment, I'm like, this could be just like plug power in, plug sound out.
yeah,
Because really, it's power the group. Okay, you get one of those tiny little IKEA 3-spot power strips and stick that to the top, you know, or even in the bottom, and then a bottom layer where power goes in, sound comes out because all of it's going to go through your mixer. So you have one out coming out of your mixer. I don't know.
I have ideas. I have ideas. I've been working on. Here's your leak. I procrastinate, and I have been working really hard the last couple of years. Not on not procrastinating. I can't stop myself from procrastinating. I have tried to make my procrastination productive. If I'm not going to work on what I should be working on, I should at least be working on something. Um, and after a couple years, I have been working really hard on the newest Good Chemicals album. So there may be some new music coming out from yours truly in the very near future here. Um,
Ooh.
and there's been a little break in it because of equipment related stuff, but not as big a break as you might think because I do a lot of composition just directly on the computer with synths and stuff like that. Um, but I have been working on some music, so that may be coming soon. I'm excited for that. I was going somewhere with this originally. Procrastination, music setup, live music. That's where it came from. Um, I do need to get some recording set up again, and one of the things I have discovered I need is a. Let me clarify that. This is not a need, this is a want. One of the things I want is a better keyboard stand for the piano keyboard. Not the typey
Mm-hmm.
keyboard, the piano keyboard. You know, same
Oh,
gesture.
your big X stand.
Yes, I don't want an X stand. I want a Z stand. Two bars at the top, a diagonal bracket, two bars at the bottom for the feet. From the side, it looks like a Z, but it does not have the X bars that block where my legs go.
Hmm. If you can draw me like a head on,
They make
draw
them.
me. No, I know they do, but I have many power tools
True.
and many miter saws and many power tools and time, and we can make one size to you.
That is true. That is true. I should.
I can make one for whatever height you want, and also like I don't want it to be a 45. I prefer a 60-degree angle because where I sit it
Yeah,
gets too much glare. Like okay, you know.
I will do that. I will do that. Sit and come up with measurements and all of that. But I also want one that has locking casters on it. So I can roll it over here when it's time to play it in front of this, and I can roll it out of the way afterwards, but I just step on the little locks and.
No, no, you need that thing where the thing that Flying High Japan had, where it sits on the feet, but it's got the cantilever things that bring it up onto the wheels. So
Yeah.
it's on wheels, but you can let it down, and then the weight is designed to be primarily on the thing, but you can temporarily prop it up on wheels to move it around.
Yeah, that. I think that's what I need.
Yeah.
But definitely one that's easier to move.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then this thing over here somewhere. I think it is time to finally put that plan into action. To take my washboard and mount all my literal bells and whistles on it and start decorating it for the one man band gimmick. Because why not?
Mm.
And as part of setting all my audio hardware back up, I'm replacing my mixer. I have a better mixer. I am replacing my mixer with the better one. That way I can plug in more things just in case. Yeah, I need to set one of those up, don't I?
Look, either that or like an The only reason I say Throne over just a straight Amazon wish list, which basically it's how people populate those, is you can turn on you can turn on pooling or community buy.
Yeah.
So it's not I go buy $150 mixer. I can throw $10 in towards a mixer, and somebody else can like, and you, it's like micro Kickstarter type pooling thing.
Yeah.
I turned that on all of the stuff on mine, but that's because a lot of the stuff on mine is like not cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
On, I don't know. So I know it's got to be like an insane budgeting, holding money type, mess. Accounting is the word I'm looking for. It's got to be an accounting nightmare. If Amazon wish lists, you could do that. If you could not buy a whole thing, but you could buy part of it.
Yeah.
Amazon would sell a lot more things because there's stuff that people want that isn't cheap. Like I want more memory for my computer. I need there's a very specific RAM kit. It's like $120 or something. I want it. It is not a need. I don't even like it is a luxury nice to have. It is not even a want. It is a if I randomly had that much money, I to just blow, I would go and do that. But I'm gonna put it on my wish list so I can watch sales and stuff. But like, I don't expect anybody to buy that.
Right.
If somebody wants to buy me a 20, it's the same way. Like, oh, what do I get you? Get me a gift card. Oh, that seems personal. Like, no, you guys don't know how to buy me the stuff I want. I want $150 RAM. I don't expect you to buy it. But if you give me a $25 Amazon gift card and you give me a $25 Amazon gift card and all the grown-ups in my life give me Amazon gift cards, I can load them onto an account and then go buy the thing I want.
Right. Right.
I explained this to my mother like a decade ago. And it's not the things I want now that are on sale now. It's the things I want for summer. Come around March when all the new Super Soakers and Nerf guns come on sale. That's when I want money to buy things.
From a utilitarian standpoint, it makes so much more sense. And there are cases like the one you're detailing where the big complaint is it feels so impersonal. No. What I am telling you is that it is not impersonal. This is perfectly suited for the way I do things. This is the most like me present you could get.
Yeah. Especially if you just included it like, look, I know you like computer stuff. I have no idea what to shop for, and I don't know what you have or what you don't have, and I don't want to ruin it, but here, go get some computer stuff. I will internally earmark that to spend that specific card on computer stuff.
Yeah. 100%.
For a couple years there, like, people were giving I think I still have some of them, honestly. I hope they should still be good. I still had when we first moved in here, a lot of people like, oh, well, there's not a whole lot of stuff left on your register. I'm like, go get us Lowe's gift cards. Whatever denominate, $5-10, it doesn't matter. You can pool them together on the app, or go get $100 or $50. But you know what? When something breaks, we might get the slightly, look, we're not expecting you to go when something breaks a couple years down the line. We have to go replace it. Do we have the $200 one because we have $200 to go get it? Oh, look, we also have that $100 Lowe's card from the housewarming. We might get the better version of that. Sometimes it's not paying it up. Maybe it's like the difference in the upcharge, getting the better version of stuff, or tools, or doors, or blinds, or I think we had 9 or 10 $50 Lowe's gift cards, and every time we had to go buy something, we would grab one because you couldn't pool them for a long time. They finally added where you could load them on your My Lowe's
Yeah.
account,
Yeah.
but that's only new in the last year or two. But we would grab one because it was, like getting a discount off on stuff, or Steam. Give somebody, I don't know what game to buy you. You don't have a wish list or anything. Go get a Steam gift card from a gas station.
I bought Tabletop Simulator for Jacob
Good.
on Steam. And by I do not mean me. That is an R&D expense for Hergel
yeah.
Studios, and I have it in our accounting.
Yeah.
By
Is
the
it
way, Fuzzy.
Is it like $10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Fuzzy, if there are
By the
games you want for research purposes, we have an R&D budget. I can buy you, as a company expense, Steam games. Remember, that actually is part of our research budget. Legitimately. It is so cool to be able to say that. I want you to know. It is so cool to be able to say that.
Ooh, Star Trekker's out. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I have a million way too many things to play before I get to that. Also, I wanted to let it cook to see if it didn't turn into shit.
Yeah, I get it.
Speaking of shit,
Uh-oh.
that's something else that happened entirely in the time we were away.
Concord?
Concord came out
And went
also
away.
went away.
All at once, just like magic. It's amazing.
Wow, wow. I need to make you soft boxes or something.
Yeah. I need to adjust this light in general in a couple different ways.
You can't see it. Oh, it's over here, and also one of them's off right now. But this is where my computer's at. This whole desk setup here was where my work setup was at.
Yeah.
So that's where my work monitor is at, and that's where my work camera was at. And I was on a lot of meetings, and I needed light. You're going on a little trip.
Yay, field trip! Oh, yeah!
I have giant balls that light up.
Nice.
And you can kind of see the one that's not lit up. They're the paper lantern things from IKEA. And they're the 1600 lumen hue bulbs in there, which are, I think they're only at like half. I think they're only at half.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them at full brightness. But I need soft light. I needed to reflect it, and that was the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, how do you know that? I'm like, because I looked at a TV set once, and I saw they had those tent pop-up soft reflector light things to diffuse the light and not have any shadows and stuff. And they're like, oh. Which is why when I eventually got into streaming, I had a leg up as I knew all some of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Man, oh man.
It's like I have a lamp off to my right, so I don't get dark side over here, and it lights up evenly. And yeah,
I showed
tabletop simulator, you say?
I showed you the wire spaghetti from Zeldathon setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an experience. Yes, tabletop simulator. Jacob says I have to teach him how to play Mahjong if we're going to write Mahjong Balatro.
Oh, God.
I saw the blackjack one, but I haven't tried it yet.
teach me how to play mahjong so I can play mahjong inside of Final Fantasy 14. Because in part of the Golden Saucer, the uh, casino thing there, it's not a casino, but not a casino, it's a gaming establishment. In addition to all the other mini games and stuff and chocobo racing, they added a full feature mahjong game and a tournament system in there, and people apparently play it a lot. I've never played it because I don't know how to play mahjong of any sort, and the tutorial very much sucks.
Well, I can give you a very, very brief introduction right now. Um, it's rummy. The cards are tiles, but it's rummy. We will go into far more detail at some point, but you make sets of three or runs of three.
Oh, it just with squiggly
Yes.
characters.
Yes, there
Okay.
are other special rules, but the core of the game is rummy.
Oh, okay. I may go. I may go try that tonight.
With that understanding, it will be a lot easier to pick up. That's the part that they do not tell you when they're trying to explain the other rules. But if you go into it knowing, oh, this is just rummy, but then all the other rules fall into place around, like hung off that structure.
Okay. I've seen like screenshots of it and stuff, but
Yeah, the cards look
yeah.
funny. That's all. I think my plan for tonight. Actually, I know what my plan is for tonight. My plan for tonight is I am going to work on a thing for MC's thing. Because we have a list of 15 and we have 8 weeks. But they are structured in the way where I can get one at least roughed out tonight and
Yeah.
maybe one roughed out tomorrow because I have the platform that they're built on more or less built. Um, After Kaizo, Jackson has pledged to help us verify them as well, do some testing. So we can do 3 body testing instead of 2 body testing. But because I have a list, I figure I should start getting some of those together. Um, but I also, this week and this weekend, want to break apart the cafe servers like we were talking about.
Mhm.
It will make the Twitch branch even bigger and grosser, but it is a necessary step and it does have to tie into that Twitch stuff. But
Yeah.
when I hear back from Saturn, when I hear back from Saturn, hey, my camera died on me. What do you know? Um, we're pretty much ready to go with crowd control whenever. Okay, go back to that one. Turn the thing on. Are you reconnected? Are you connected? Are you working at all? I think my camera connection is loose on one end or something. Maybe that's going to get moved and adjusted too. Also, I need a teleprompter. Also, I need another 3 monitor arm. I need 6 monitors here. And I need 6 monitors over there for work.
Do you want swordfish? Because this is how you end up with swordfish.
Yeah, absolutely. Hack the planet. That is what I need. I need the Hydra setup.
Wait, no. Those were we're mixing hacker movies.
Yeah, there is one hacker movie with 7 different names, okay? Take the red
No,
pill, hack the planet.
no. Matrix was really not about the hacking of it. There's really two. There's well, okay, in no particular order because they can't be ranked in abstract because for different reasons. But there's hackers, there's swordfish, and there's Johnny Mnemonic.
And sneakers.
Oh yeah, sneakers.
There were a handful of hacker movies there. Johnny Mnemonic. I haven't seen that in so long. I
Okay,
missed that movie,
okay,
man.
okay. I'll say Sneakers over Johnny Mnemonic. Johnny Mnemonic. It was a premise. It wasn't like the major thing. It was more Johnny Mnemonic was more about the story that just happened to be hacking.
Yeah, yeah.
Sneakers really was a it was about it.
Fair.
Acid burn. Yeah.
Have you seen Noodle's video about hackers? Like the
No.
movie? The animator Noodle on YouTube has a fantastic review of hackers that you should go see. Hello, come here. Come on. I hear one of the cats yowling, and I can't tell which one it is. In addition to everything else, while I was gone for a month, we adopted another cat. Temporarily, it is a loner. We are taking care of a cat for a friend of ours until she is in a place where she can take the cat back. But our new cat, Luke, who is a black void gremlin, is absolutely adorable and fits in so well at the house and loves being here and loves hanging out with us. And I am happy to have him here.
So as you should, I have your stream open on over there just so I can keep like I know what it looks like or if it drops out or it's
Yeah.
something and it gets muted. I don't like watch it, just kind of keep an eye on it. And sometimes Twitch does those like slide in ads
Yeah.
where just like it just makes your window a little bit smaller and just puts a vertical ad selling there on the side. And I look over because I saw a movement because Raptors, and the ad it was trying to sell me was Microsoft Office. It was an ad for Office for Microsoft 365.
I see. Do we need Office? Do we,
No,
Hergel, need Office?
no, we have Google. It's
Okay.
it's I if push comes to shove and we have some weird file we need open, I do have Office. I do have 365 because I basically can't get out of. I mean, part of the part of one of the things that you get when you get 365 is each account gets a terabyte of cloud storage.
Yes.
I buy a yearly subscription to a terabyte of cloud storage.
It
I
includes
happen to
free
also be able to
Office.
open
Yeah.
Excel. Yeah,
I
I
I
also
yeah.
yeah
I Jason
I
have Office, so
I do enough weird things in Excel spreadsheets specifically.
yeah.
And before you ask, no, there are some things you can still only do in Excel. You can't do in
Oh, I know.
Google Docs.
I know.
It's getting close, but like there's specifically some things I have written in like some functions that only exist. There's some stuff that's not even in the web version of 365 because all the 365 apps, all the Office apps, there's cloud versions. You can just go online, and if it's in your OneDrive or whatever, not your OneDrive, yeah, is it OneDrive? Yeah, no, that's Microsoft. Yes, in your cloud storage,
Yeah.
you can open it in the browser, and it's rapidly getting to be one for one. Like, at what point is the desktop app just going to be an Electron wrapper? There's some function calls you can put in cells that aren't in the web version.
Yeah.
Straight out, they're just not in that engine. And it's
Yep.
not like, oh, they're not in the free Excel because you can actually use Word and Excel for free, like most of the basic normal person things you can use them in there. No, they're just not in that engine, and they're really dumb things that could be. They're not like, oh, crazy graphic rendering, like 4-layer pivot. No, I can understand. Like, they just don't want to code it. They don't want to code it in JS, right? No, it's like one of the V lookups or something. One of the ones like it just doesn't. And if you open a thing like it doesn't work, those cells are just going to have weird error messages on them.
The hashtag error, yeah.
It's like, why? What?
Computers are difficult, man. I programmed one once. They're difficult. Ah,
That's something. Okay, this is hypothetical.
go on.
We're not doing this.
Go on.
Okay. VR Let's Cafe.
Voxel art?
Grab meat, grab thing. 3D, same interface, same. You cursor down, you grab it with your hand, and drag the icon of the meat up to the grid, and then when you hit make, it goes poof and turns into an object. And that's that's something we ought to talk about. It's having art of the food item, the
Yeah.
completed items, because there's a lot of stuff we could do. Like, first of all, when the customers leave, pick one of the things from their order, and they're holding that as they move. Not all of them, just pick one of them, and you see some representation of one of the things. Or,
On on the
as you make
tray,
that,
or yeah.
yeah, they go off to a tray, and then okay, order up, go done.
Hmm.
Actually, that one we should talk about for real. But VR, like,
Yeah. I know
and
you
you
say
could
we're not doing it. How about we just make it super low priority? But that would be neat.
well, we don't have the setup, we don't have the hardware to do it. We don't. It's a whole lot of
I have a
stuff.
Quest 2.
I thought you sold that to Batman.
No, that was the Vive.
Oh,
I still have my Oculus DK, and I have a Quest 2 I bought from Scott.
oh, you got Scott's. Okay,
Yeah.
I got a miter saw. You got a VR headset. Um, and you could do pair gaming. You could have somebody in the shop at the same time buying you supplies.
Yeah. Hmm.
Treat it like the Star Trek bridge command thing. You got somebody, an expediter, calling out orders, somebody cooking it and sliding it down, and another person like buying the shop and managing. Yeah,
See, now you got me
split
thinking.
split the cooking and the drink station separate. So you could have somebody making drinks in that interface, and they're adding them. They're adding them down to the tray. Yeah. See, when my brain all foggy could being sick or other stuff. Yeah, I come up with ideas.
We, I will say we have no shortage of ideas. We have no shortage of plans for that matter. We just have finite
Oh,
work ability.
there's a lot of stuff, even within the context of Let's Cafe, that I'll be honest with everybody still listening to this. There's a lot of stuff we would add in a heartbeat. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
As I keep telling Jason, nothing comes for free
Hmm.
in when you do the development. The stuff we want to do isn't like, oh, there's a library call. Like, you just do it like, we just add this. Like, it's not like we're in Unreal Engine and there's a thing for adding that. We just give it the name of the thing and it does. It's like, no, all of that, we are hand whittling bespoke functions, carving each one out of wood to add into our Babbage machine. Like, there is no off the shelf. I can go get a carburetor. It's like, no, we have to invent a carburetor and then hand chisel one out of limestone to make it ourselves.
Yeah, a lot of the people that have offered suggestions and feature requests, like, I want to remind them of that too. It's like, that is a great idea. I don't know if we will get to it because there are so many great ideas.
Yeah.
But know that these are all being considered. We just weigh them and prioritize them.
And we don't do a good job of saying this, and we really should talk to our social media manager about getting our publisher page on Steam updated,
Yeah.
or our about thing. Like, remember, we are a very small company of 4 people.
Well,
The majority of us have very engaging full-time jobs right now,
I mean,
and all of this is our hobby.
technically 5 people if you count the 4 quarter people.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in
No, I know.
addition to,
Yeah.
like, yeah, shout out to our helpers.
Our art and writing team and our testing team. The
Yes,
preferred contractors at Hurgle.
we should come up with a witty name for.
Adjunct Hurglers.
No, I wanted to. There's a private Discord channel for all the testers and content, for all the like behind the scenes stuff. That's like for the public and the inside public,
Yeah.
for the art and testers and stuff.
Non-partnered team members.
Yes,
Hurgle is structured like a farming co-op, except we farm video games. We all own a part of the company. We all share in the profits. People that aren't partners but work with us also have a place where they can talk to us, but it's not widely public knowledge.
I wanted to rename it. The channel is something like boring. I wanted to rename it Behind the Counter. I'm like, no, that's dumb. Nobody's gonna understand. If they get notifications, like like they need to, like it makes sense for that, but yeah.
I get you. I get you. Although we're going to have to call the one for the other game Deckhands. Ha, deck with 2 meanings. Ha, I'm going to stop talking about that.
I didn't share you the design. It's not even a design document. It's sort of like
Send
a
it
bunch
to
of
me.
extended notes.
Send it to me.
I think it's like it might be in like a OneNote file, or I saved it somewhere because I was like mashing it out, and I'm like, no, I need to save this somewhere before I forget all of this. Yeah,
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I think you're gonna like mine because it plays on a bunch of different things we want to write and adds not just horizontal scalability and long term, but also vertical and like different markets in one. It is its own like multiverse ecosystem of stuff that's going to come out of it.
I am very excited.
And if any one of those parts ends up being a good idea, it'll go. If all of them take off, that's even better.
Yeah. I like that. I like that very much.
And then Tantrum happened, and I'm like, oh, I may have some opinions on how to do some of this. Which is why I'm going to stop talking, because
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. I will also say regarding Secret Tantrum thing, I want to work on 2 parts of that. One is what we say, and 2 is show off some things. Because we have things to...
Yeah, we should definitely find out what is safe to talk about from that.
That would be a real good idea. That would be a real good idea. We're really doing it. We may not be big yet. I may not be able to throw you tons of money yet, but we're really doing it, Fuzzy. Like, legitimately. How crazy is this?
I mean,
I saw someone... I have now seen as many people stream Let's Cafe that I've never heard of as I have people I have asked to stream it now. I have seen enough strangers play our game. Never get tired of it. Just like I never get tired of that clip of Jiggy yelling, "Get the sword!" at Ice Blue. They were. I didn't even know in Oracles that if you approached a chest from the wrong side, it said you can't open it from this side. And when I saw that, I'm like, they are the best foil for Jiggy for this exact bit. I could not have asked for that to go any better. God, it was so cool to meet him in person too. Like, they're so sweet. We went to Taco Bell. Key met us there. Homick, Vocal Butcher met us there. We went to Taco Bell and hung out. I wish I would have had more time to spend with them, but I was just running like crazy the whole event. But they want to volunteer. They want to come back in like team capacity, not just guest capacity. And I was very
Oh,
excited for that.
cool.
I sent you the screenshot of a tilt to the past, right? My first experiments with that.
No.
Oh, there's a decompilation project for Link to the Past where they decompiled it and you can rebuild it as a Windows executable. Ship a Harkinian, but for Link to the Past.
Okay. Okay.
Using the SDL library for controller input. The
Oh
SDL
no.
library that can read accelerometer and gyro
Oh
sensors on a
no.
controller.
Oh no.
So I'm just saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. Just it hypothetically could happen. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I did think of one thing that would make the tilt games a little bit more sane, although I don't know if you'd always have. Assuming you had a controller with 4 face buttons, okay? Because you would need more than the NES too. You would need at least a third.
Yeah.
Maybe not a shoulder button, but you need some way to like break. And I know you can go the. I know you can like tilt the stick the other way, but you need like a clutch break. You need like a break to like your roller stop. Put it on one. If you gotta make it an analog, if you got a controller with like an actual like analog.
Yeah.
Are these digital? I think these ones are only. Yeah, these ones are both digital. One of the Xbox controller, the triggers are analog.
Yeah. Just food for thought. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. It's all just food for thought until it happens. It's all just an idea until it's a prototype, until it's a proof of concept, until it's actually, this is the repo, let's finish it.
I swear to God, if you. Well, if
Yeah.
anybody's here, or if anybody's watching the. Hello, Scott in the future watching it on YouTube, or anybody else that does. Uh, Discord, join it. If you have an idea or something we want to do, or find some general bug, we do have a general Hurgle Discord. There's a general channel. Throw a message in there. Feel free to at any of the team members, the actual Hurgle people, which
Yeah.
I think we could make sure we
We
have
do.
flags for that.
We
Okay.
do.
Um, yeah, we're all very available. We're all busy, but we're also very connected. If you see something, say something, or have an idea, or think a neat game idea, private message one of us.
Pitch it.
Well,
You never know what'll happen. Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you all for being here with us today. I think we'll call it for this evening. We'll go about our business. I'm going to go get to business. I'm trying to decide which piece of business I want to open with, but we have much business. There is much to be done. Thank you all again so much for joining us here on the Blue House Bull Session. It has been a pleasure as it always is. We will catch you next time around.